Welcome to the Reducing Insurance Journal, Digital Marketing Edition. This is a weekly e-journal brought directly to your inbox. To subscribe, visit ridjournal.com. In today's issue, we are going to explore the topic, how dental patients buy today. You can also listen to us as a podcast on iTunes, Google Play, Amazon Music, or your favorite podcast tool. If you like video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, RID Journal. I'm Ben Tuine, your host for today's edition, and let's dive straight into this. Today, my guest is my good friend and colleague, Mr. Naren Arulraja. Naren, great to be with you again today.
Thank you, Ben. I'm looking forward to our conversation today. I think this is a great topic, how dental patients buy in 2023.
I think this is a perfect topic for you to talk about because, as you know, getting to know you over the years, you're such an expert when it comes to this whole idea behind marketing, the psychology behind how patients buy into dental practices. So we're looking forward to your feedback. So I'm going to dive into a few questions here. First of which is, how do dental patients buy or choose a dental practice or a dental service in today's day and age, 2023?
This is an excellent question, Ben, because if you have the wrong map, right? So let's say you go to a new city, let's say Chicago. And I know those of us who used to use map will understand what I'm saying. Back in the 90s even, anytime you go to a new city, you need a map. You typically will buy that at a convenience store, or you would get it in advance. And you take that map. Imagine that map is 50 years old. So you are there today and the map was printed 50 years ago. More than likely, you're going to get lost because the buildings, the landmarks, many things may have changed. So you are like looking for certain things that perhaps existed 50 years ago. They don't exist today. So if you as a dental practice owner don't understand how dental patients buy in 2023, and you still have ideas and mindsets you developed 10 years ago, 15 years ago as to how dental patients bought, you're going to get lost. So let me explain this in as few words as possible. So how do dental patients buy in 2023? There are two steps, two parts. In the old days, we believed in referrals. In the old days, we believed in ads, like yellow page ads, right? Because that's what was available to us. So we would ask our friend who's everything health, hey, who's the dentist I should go see? Or we would ask the yellow pages by just flipping through yellow pages and picking a dentist we see on that yellow page book. Because in those days, I still remember that's how we discovered businesses, through yellow pages. But in 2023, the world has changed. People use Google, 3.7 billion times a day. And 6.7 billion times a day. They use it to pretty much answer any and every question, from picking that restaurant to picking their dentist. So step one of the dental patient's journey today is go to Google and type what they need. Now, Google today, again, is different from the Google that existed 15 years ago. 15 years ago, maybe they would have typed in dentist, city name. Today, they are typing in very specific things. Veneers before and after near me. Veneers gone wrong, and they'll type in postal zip code. The best implant dentist, Chicago. So they're typing in hundreds of very specific things related to what they need at that very moment. They are not typing in dentist. So that's step one. They go to Google, type what they need. And that's happening 90% of the time, and that number continues to grow. So probably in a few years, that number might be 95%. That's how they start their research in finding a dentist or finding a dental service. The second step is, if they come through search engine optimization, meaning you happen to have a link near the top of Google search results that was not tagged as an ad, they are likely to spend 90 seconds when they click on that link, 90 seconds on your web page. I'm giving you the average numbers. If it was tagged as an ad, they're only likely to spend 15 seconds on average. So those are the two parts of a dental buyer's journey. Google what they need, and then click on a link. Either it's an ad, 15 seconds. If it's organic or SEO, meaning one of the free Google's preferred listings, then 90 seconds.
That's
And the
amazing.
reason they spend 90 seconds with one and 15 seconds with the other is they trust the organic result and they don't trust the ad. So they are much more likely to leave very fast because the second they're clicking on it, they're clicking with doubt.
Gotcha. It's amazing how much we changed as society just in 15 years, right? But
100%.
I remember driving cross country 20 years ago and buying an actual map to figure out where I need to go.
I remember going to AAA,
Yeah.
American Automobile Association, or in Canada, it's CAA, and like they'll give you books and books and books
Yeah.
of, maps for every state you're going to go through.
Oh, yeah.
The good old days.
That's the good old days for sure. But so let's talk about the step one, the Google search. So as a dentist, what's our goal here?
Yeah, so the Google search, like I alluded to, if you are showing up on ads, they will only spend 15 seconds. If you are showing up on SEO for that exact keyword search or keyword phrase that they typed in, they'll spend 90 seconds. So if I'm a person trying to do this, if they spend 90 seconds, I am 6 times more likely to convince them to choose me versus 15 seconds. I'm not, because they're clicking with doubt and they only give me 15 seconds. So I can't really convince them. So I would say, try to rank on Google search for hundreds of keywords, because again, they're not just type veneers or dentist, but they're typing in variations of the phrase veneers, like variations of that service you provide. So for 30 keywords related to veneers, you should be one of the top 3 or top 10 Google search results. Why top 10? Because only 10 results typically show up on this first page and nobody goes to page 2.
Interesting. So with regards to that 90 seconds, I'm assuming the second option of the 90 seconds that they'll spend, there's probably some interest there, right? So let's talk about that 90 seconds that they spend on that page that they clicked on from Google. What's the significance of that in terms of what people are looking for?
Yeah, that's a really good question. And I think a lot of people get lost, because I see a lot of successful doctors. We work with 350 dentists all across the US. And I noticed that even some of the best dentists, they don't understand what the people are looking for in that 90 seconds. They look at the website from their own point of view or from the point of view of what this other dentist is doing, and they get it totally wrong. Like, I mean, if I'm copying a person who's writing the wrong answers, my answers are going to be 100% wrong, right? So the key is to understand what they're actually looking for. Really, they're looking for 3 things, Ben. First is, are you an expert? Today, we all think our needs are unique. So I can use a simple example. In the old days, again, I'm dating myself, you hire a contractor and then that contractor might do your kitchen, might do your washroom. Today, you want a kitchen done, you look for someone who's really good at kitchens. You want a washroom done, you look for someone who's really good at washrooms. And if you are, like, let's say, an older person, you might look for someone who's good at designing washrooms for all people, because you think your needs are unique, right? We all think our needs are unique. So we tend to look for people who are specialists in what we do. So the first question is, are you an expert who can meet my quote unquote special or unique needs? Whether it's veneers, okay, do you know a lot about veneers? If it's Invisalign, do you know a lot about Invisalign? That's question number 1. Question number 2 is, can I trust you? For 2 reasons, this becomes important. One is healthcare is very personal. So when they don't trust you, they are not likely to go under the knife. I'm using that phrase, or let you work on their mouth if they don't trust you. The second reason this is important to them is a lot of the optional healthcare services like implants and veneers and sedation and all these things are not covered by insurance, which means they're going to pay thousands, if not tens of thousands of dollars out of pocket. Anytime any of us is spending a lot of money, thousands or tens of thousands, we want to trust the person we're going to give that money to, because we don't want to waste that money, right? I mean, they're just like you. I mean, the bigger the dollar amount, the bigger the check, the more they want to trust, more they want to feel like they can trust you. And the last question they're asking is, do I like you? Again, because healthcare is personal. If they don't like you, if they don't feel like you can understand them or they can understand you, they're not going to, choose you. So in that 90 seconds, your job is to get them to say yes, yes, yes to these 3 questions. I'm an expert. You can trust me. You can like me.
Well, that's awesome. Thinking about some of the nitty gritty behind this, that first question, are you an expert who can meet my unique needs? How do I achieve that as a dentist? How do I portray myself as an expert to these people that are looking for these unique dental services?
That's a great question. I think if I were you, let's say let's take an example, veneers, right?
Mhm.
I would highlight, cases that I have done as a dentist. I would show the full mouth, full face picture, both the before and the after. Because when I see a beautiful full face after compared to this terrible smile before, again, full face, I see that you can really do a good job in changing my life. Remember, I said the reason this becomes important is because of the cost. So veneer cases are expensive, right? $10,000, $20,000, $30,000. Full mouth cases are expensive. So when I see this transformation, and I'm like, yeah, instead of buying that new car and spending $40,000, I'm going to get that amazing smile and be happy for the next 20 years of my life or 30 years of my life, right? Now it's worth it for me. That 40,000 feels like it's a really good investment. So you have to show yourself as an expert. I do think before and after cases is the best way to show everyone, especially if you can show them that full face picture. The mistake I see practices making or dental owners making is they will show only teeth pictures. And the problem is I cannot see the transformation when I look at teeth. A dentist can, but the average person cannot. The average person totally can relate to how this entire face changes because of you.
That's awesome. So it's kind of like looking at possibilities, right? The before and afters.
Exactly.
Which kind of, to me, that kind of ties into the trust, right? But is there more? Like how do I solicit trust from patients or potential patients?
Yeah, I'm going to give you a few tips here. The first one you can do is, pick up your own Google reviews related to that service. So when you go to Google and, let's say veneers, look for all the reviews where people mention veneers, include them and say as seen on Google. And again, do it in a way that Google can also notice it, because now Google will also use that information to rank you even higher, because Google knows you are an expert on veneers who is trusted by Google users.
That makes perfect sense. Naturally, I do the same thing. When I see reviews, I start to develop trust in the brand or the restaurant that I'm looking to give a try. What about likability? How do I get people to like me?
Yes. For liking, I'll give you a couple of tips. First is do videos where you can talk to the patient like you would talk to a fifth grader. So let's say have a video about your first visit. It could be a 1 to 2 minute video, simple video where you're explaining things in a way anyone can understand, not just a dentist or somebody who knows a lot about veneers. Second, maybe explain the process. Okay, this is how it's going to work. Visit 1, visit 2, visit 3. This is how long it's going to take. Hey, watch all the before and after pictures I have done. The other thing you could do is in your case presentation, let's say you are presenting 6 cases on that page, show different people, different ages. So maybe pick a female who's in her 50s, pick a female who's in the 40s, a man who's in his 30s, because by showing people of different skin color, male versus female, different ages, you are kind of communicating to them someone who is exactly like you, liked me and trusted me to come and see me. That's why I have this case. Now they're thinking, oh, not only are you an excellent expert in veneers, but you also can help someone like me very specifically. Making sense?
That makes perfect sense. Kind of like relating to images of people that you see on on their website, which draws them in, right? And I can think of a number of examples where that applied to me personally. This is all awesome stuff, Naren. I really enjoy, I always feel like I learn something new from you every time we do these podcasts. But if you don't mind, can you summarize the dental's buyer's journey and talk about how a dental practice can find out if they're really optimizing their website, so dental buyers in 2023 will not only find them, but also choose them as their provider?
Absolutely. So let me summarize the dental buyer's journey. Step 1, they go to Google. This happens 90% of the time. And they look for one of the first few results for whatever they need. So let's say Invisalign for teens near me. That was the keyword they typed in. After they type that keyword, if they click on an organic link, they spend 90 seconds. If they click on an ad, they spend 15 seconds, again, on average. let's assume they're giving you the 90 seconds. So your goal for step one is to show up for as many keywords as possible, hundreds of them on page one. And now that they're giving you 90 seconds because they clicked on an organic link, they're asking 3 questions. Are you an expert? Can I trust you? Do I like you? Answer those questions favorably. We went through exactly what you can do to answer them favorably. Now, many practices don't have the technical depth to know how well they're doing on Google. Of course, my questions around, what you can do to get people to see you as an expert, trust you and like you, maybe you can figure out for yourself by going to your pages. But on the Google side, you may or may not know if you're doing well. So, we would like to offer you a free marketing strategy meeting where we spend 6 hours researching you versus your competition and tell you exactly, what you can do to get people to, find you again and again on SEO, plus optimize so that they are picking you after they spend that 90 seconds. That's our, marketing strategy meeting. It's complimentary. It's a $900 value. And we do 6 hours of research prior to that.
That's awesome. Highly recommend that. We even started to have a bunch of clients in December schedule that for January. And of course, always fun to hear the feedback from clients that do that, which is always extremely positive in terms of the outcome of these marketing strategy meetings. So to book a marketing strategy meeting, please visit ridjournal.com/MSM. So MSM is short for Marketing Strategy Meeting. Naren, always a pleasure chatting with you. Thanks for imparting all the knowledge that you've shared with us today. I know that a lot of these things are relevant to pretty much mostly any business that has an online presence, but very, very much effective for those that have dental practices looking to capture this whole world of Google advertising and Google search terms and all that fun stuff to find the unique type of patients that you're looking for. If you love what we do here at ridjournal.com, tell your friends, share a review on iTunes or YouTube, and don't forget to subscribe. Until we meet again, I am your host, Ben Tuine.